welcome to another video. So today I'm going to get started on my next weekly vlog. I am starting this late. I wanted to finish my last vlog. Well, I wanted to finish my last vlog about a week ago and I just didn't. So today is Saturday evening and I'm starting this week's weekly vlog. Ideally, I'd like to get this one wrapped up by sort of middle of next week. Don't know if that's going to be possible, but we will see. Anywho, this week's vlog is going to be me reading one of the books from my self-destruct list. So I'm going to turn you around and we will pick a book. So, sorry if you can hear Bella meowing. She thinks it's dinner time. It isn't. This is my self-destruct pile. So we've got the Guinevere Deception, Legendborn, The Box in the Woods, The Alchemist, Crowfall, Artemis Fowl and the Arctic Incident, The Obelisk Gate, The Idea of You, The Song of Achilles, Baby Love, Illuminae and Lady Midnight. For this week's vlog, I'm going to be reading Lady Midnight. This one is on my TBR for January, and I am actually just genuinely excited to read it. I've got a sprayed edge edition. I don't know where it's from. I bought this one secondhand. So this is the first in the Dark Artificers series. This series starts after City of Heavenly Fire finishes. Here is the synopsis if you would like to read it. So this one follows Emma Carstairs, who we meet at the end of Heavenly Fire. What I'm going to be reading. I'm excited. I haven't read any Shadowhunters for a while. They are an absolute guilty pleasure and I'm excited by that. So I'm going to go downstairs, might feed the cat who is annoying me, might wait until it's her actual dinner time. But I'm going to start reading Lady Midnight. See you later. Hello. It's Monday night and I'm about 100 pages into Lady Midnight. This is going to take me longer than I thought to read. I don't know why I thought I'd be able to read the sort of, however long it is, 600, 700 page book in a couple of days. But yeah, like I still would like to try and get this read by the middle of this week or at least by the end of the week. But that's going to be a bit of an ask. So 100 pages in. So far, not my favourite Shadowhunters. This feels a little bit fan servicey. Some of the humour in here feels a bit forced. I don't yet know what the like main plot's gonna be. So we've got in here Emma, who lives in the Los Angeles Institute. Her parents were murdered at the end of City of Heavenly Fire. And there have been more murders similar to the ones of her parents. She thinks they're connected, but the Shadowhunters aren't letting her investigate. Her parabatai, Julian, and his family all went to England for the summer. They've just come back and they have decided, the group of them together have decided that they're going to investigate these murders. So Julian basically is raising his 4 younger siblings. Both Julian and Emma are orphans. Their parents all died in the war at the end of City of Heavenly Fire. Julian and Emma also are parabatai, and where I've got up to now, Julian is saying that he kind of wishes that they weren't parabatai. Now, I'm fairly certain, and I'm sorry if I've given any spoilers or I'm about to give spoilers, I'm fairly certain this one has a classic Cassandra Clare incest-adjacent storyline where I believe it's between Emma and Julian. And you can already see their kind of mutual pining in this so far. And the reason that's kind of like incest-adjacent is parabatai are supposed to be completely platonic. And in fact, in here, we've already had multiple mentions of how Power Batai are supposed to be platonic. It's never meant to be a romantic attachment. So, yeah, so far I'm just finding it a little bit slow. Like, I'm not seeing where the plot is, and it's just dragging a little bit. Like I said, I am only 100 pages in. It is nearly a 700-page book, so I'm not surprised that the plot hasn't kicked in less than 100 pages in. It's the first in the series. I thought I heard a squeaking Bella. Hello, my darling. Hi, Bracken. Hello, my darling. You're going to see what Bella's up to, are you? Or are you just going to sit on top of me? Thank you. I can't talk when your face is in my face. So, yeah, all in all, my thoughts so far on Lady Midnight. I don't have huge amounts of thoughts. It's fine. It's not the most exciting Shadowhunters book I've read so far. So far, I guess it's better than The Mortal Instruments. I really did not enjoy that series. But it isn't as good as any of the historical ones. And that does kind of worry me because, is it going to be that I like the historical Shadowhunters, but not the, I'm just going to move you out the way, Bracken, but not the modern ones. But yeah, my kind of main problem at the moment is first of all the lack of plot, and second of all, I just feel like the humour is very, very forced. It's not feeling very natural to me. We'll continue reading. This was on my self-destruct list, so I am happy that I am reading it anyway. I did want to get this series started this year. And yeah, I'm going to go to bed now because I'm tired, and you can tell my voice is all croaky. Hello. It is Tuesday evening. I'm at about the 200-page mark of Lady Midnight. So I feel like more things have happened since I updated you last night, but yeah, also I don't feel like the plot has progressed, really. Our main characters, so Julian, Emma, and their gang are investigating these fairy deaths which look the same as how Emma's parents were killed. Plus Mark, who is Julian's older brother and was taken by the fairies at the end of Heavenly Fire, has been brought back from the fairies, but doesn't really remember anyone. And that's all. So I feel like we're not really getting very much plot. So the plot does seem to be that they're investigating these fairy murders. And again, like I said, 200 pages in, I'm a third of the way through the book. The plot's just sort of started. This doesn't feel like it's going to be my favourite Shadowhunters book. Now, I have been slightly nervous with this one because the Mortal Instruments series, I gave those books all 3 and 2 stars. But the historical ones, so The Last Hours and The Infernal Devices, both of those series got 4 and 5 stars. So this one being, again, another modern one, I think it should probably get about a 3-star. Like, my issues with the the Mortal Instruments was mainly that I just really did not like Jace or Clary. While I don't really I don't really have any strong opinion on Emma or Julian. Like, Julian is very, very cardboard cutout. I have no opinion on him. Emma is a bit annoying, but not to the extent that Clary's annoying. So hopefully that those two will be less irritating and I can at least enjoy the plot. I am glad I'm reading it, just again because if nothing else, it's getting off my self-destruct list, and it is a series that I do want to start, that I have want to start. I do want to read this series because it is the last Shadowhunter series that I need to read. However, I feel like there are some standalones that I should have read before starting this series. Just with a couple of things that they've said, like Magnus, like it was mentioned that Magnus and Alec have adopted a warlock child, which I'm fairly certain hadn't happened in the Mortal Instruments. It doesn't happen in the Bane Chronicles, which I've read. So I don't know, I'm guessing that happened somewhere else and I've missed that part. And there was something else that mentioned, what was it? Isabel and Simon are parabatai, I think, or like they're a couple or something. I can't remember. No, I think Clary and Simon are parabatai and Isabel and Simon are together. And again, at the end of Heavenly Fire, Simon is still human and is about to, and has forgotten all about the Shadowhunters. So I feel like I probably should have read, is it Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy? That is like Simon's story. So yeah, I feel like I'm missing some information from the world, but it's fine. It's solid. It's fine. I mean, it's a Shadowhunters book. It's never going to be like the best thing ever. And yes, I know I did say just now that I gave the like historical ones 5 stars. Cassandra Clare she's just got an addictive writing style. Like it's junk food, it's not good, but I want to read it all. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Lady Midnight so far. I'm going to read a little bit more and then go to bed just now. Hello, Wednesday night update on Lady Midnight. I am now 300 pages through. I still don't really have many thoughts. It's fine. It's not going to be one of my favourite Shadowhunter series. It is much more on par with Mortal Instruments and the historical ones. But, one thought. So at the end of Heavenly Fire, the parents, so Julian and co, the Blackthorns, die, and Emma's parents also die. Emma and Julian become parabatai. And a Blackthorn uncle says he will take over the LA Institute. And then there's also Diana, who seems to be like a tutor, who comes and basically tutors these kids. For 5 years, the uncle has had nothing to do with the kids. And Diana, this tutor, is coming in every day and being like, yeah, well, I can see a 12-year-old is in charge of 4 younger children, including 1 toddler. Bye. And I know that like in YA you always want to just get rid of the parents because parents make life complicated. But it just feels very unrealistic that nobody at any point has gone, yeah, a 12-year-old child should not have to be raising his 4 younger siblings along with his 12-year-old friend. So yeah, that I'm just a bit like, it just doesn't particularly make sense enough to me for me to be like, for me to think it's overly enjoyable. I don't know. I said I'm 300 pages in. So, how many pages did it say it was? 670. I was going to say it does not look like I'm halfway. And that's because I'm not. I mean, I'm nearly halfway. It doesn't even look like I'm nearly halfway. By 300 pages into a book, I would expect there to be some, like, decent plot. I feel like this might need to be one which I binge the series fairly quickly because I think otherwise I'm going to struggle to get through it. And I do want to read this series. Like, the Shadowhunter books are not good, but I enjoy them. So I do want to read them. So yeah, I might be semi-hate reading The Dark Artifices for the next couple of months. I am disappointed. because I really liked the ending of Heavenly Fire, and I thought that because I knew this one would carry straight on, I thought it might be actually quite a fun read. I don't understand how Cassie Clare can write these fantastic historical books with really engaging characters, but yet her modern ones, the characters are awful. Like the characters in this book, I cannot tell you any of the four children. None of them have personalities. I think one of them, the younger girl, Drew, her personality is she's slightly fat. Like, that's not a personality. And the two main ones, Julian doesn't have a personality and Emma is annoying. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow with my next 100-page update. Hello, it is Friday night. I have got a Bella on my lap, a Bracken who has just huffed and puffed and moved away from me. I'm 500 pages into Lady Midnight, so I've got about 150 pages left. So I'm hoping that I can get this one finished tomorrow. I'm going to stop reading and go to bed now. It's about 10 o'clock and I'm just a bit tired of reading this one now. So, thoughts. There's a lot of conveniences. Diego has turned up, and he turned up in a very convenient way, and it's all very convenient as to like who he is and why Christina fell out with him and all of that. I feel like I don't really have any interest in Christina's kind of storyline, purely because I don't feel like it's been built up enough for me to have any interest in it. I feel like the kind of mystery side is almost resolved, but also I know what Cassandra Clare is like. I know there's 150 pages left and she's going to throw in at least a couple more twists. Yeah, I feel like this is probably kind of sitting at around about a 3-star. I think twists at the end is probably going to make me go, oh my god, amazing, I want to raise the rating. But I do think this is going to have been 600 pages of kind of meh and like 70 pages at the end of more exciting. I am glad I've read it. Like I've said again, you know, I am glad that I have started the series. It's not my favourite though. I am finding Emma particularly quite irritating. Another thing that's just kind of been like revealed is, like I was saying earlier, how it's weird that the kids are allowed to just raise themselves in the institute. And that has been addressed. But again, it feels very convenient, and it's one of those, I was thinking about this earlier. I can't remember what author said it, but I remember seeing reading something where an author had said, when you write YA, one of the first things you've got to do is get rid of the parents. And what I've liked about Cassandra Clare is in the other series, she's kind of done that, but she hasn't really done that. So in the Mortal Instruments, the Lightwoods are running the institutes. And so they're kind of absent, but they are still there. In Infernal Devices, Tessa, Jem and Will are all orphans, for, want of a better term. But I can't remember what the names are. Henry and I can't remember who else it is. But they have kind of adopted them and run that institute and look after those kids. In the last hours, Will and Tessa are very much involved with the kids, and in fact all of the main group of people in the last hours are all adults, whereas in here they're all children and there is no like parental figure. And I understand why that's been done. I understand now that they've kind of addressed it. I do understand how they've got there and why it's being done, but I feel like it doesn't make sense to me. I do have a theory as to what I think the twist is going to be, who the big bad at the end is going to be. Part of that is because I read the synopsis of book 2, so I feel like I have read quite a large spoiler. But again, I also read the synopsis of book 3, so I read an even bigger spoiler. But there is something that I haven't seen confirmed, but I feel like I know. I think there's 2 people who I think are going to be the baddies. One of them I'm fairly certain I know because I spoiled it for myself, and one of them I feel like it's geared up to be that person, but I feel like it's been done in a way where things are pointing towards person A as a deliberate red herring, but it's actually going to be person B. And again, I'm trying to avoid spoilers. I don't know if I've done very good job at avoiding spoilers, but I will let you know when I finish it tomorrow if I was right with my predictions. But yeah, 500 pages through, I've got 170 pages left. We are nearly there, and yeah, it's a solid okay, to be totally honest, at the moment. Anyway, that's enough for me. I'm going to go to bed, and we'll finish the book tomorrow. Hello, it is Saturday morning, and I have finally finished reading Lady Midnight by Santa Clare. So my predictions that I was saying last night were absolutely correct. The last sort of 1,700 pages are fantastic, 5 stars, like so enthralling. I read the last 150 pages in one sitting, and I was just like, could not stop reading. However, this book is 670 pages, so there are sort of 500-ish pages that are just a little bit dull. I did enjoy it overall. I haven't run it through Corpal yet, but I think it's probably going to end up being about a 3, maybe a 3.5. I found Emma quite irritating, and I found most of the... Bracken's found her ball. I found most of the Blackthorn kids, just a bit two-dimensional. I don't really feel like any of the children had any personalities. So like that's Livy, Ty, Drew and Tabby. None of them had personalities, which I thought was strange, particularly for Livy and Ty, who said they were 15. So they were older than Emma and Julian were in Heaven and Fire. In fact, Drew was also older than those 2 were in Heavenly Fire. And yet they sort of weren't allowed to do anything and didn't really have any kind of personality. I wanted to see a little bit more of them. They were such big characters in terms of the importance to the rest, to like Julian and Emma, who are our main characters, that I felt like they needed to have a bit more of a personality and a bit more of character. The end, I'm not going to give spoilers, but I was a little bit disappointed. I felt like at the end, the person that I thought it was going to be the baddie was the baddie. The person that I thought was going to be like the second baddie appeared, but I don't think actually was bad. I felt like there were just a lot of unanswered questions around them. And again, this is book 1 in a trilogy, so I fully appreciate that there will be unanswered questions because there's 2 more books to go. But yeah, I felt like things that weren't really wrapped up very well. It, like, the story arc itself was wrapped up, but it wasn't... There was a lot of unanswered questions. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to continue this series. I will definitely be continuing this series, and I would like to try and continue the series within the next couple of months, just because I do feel like it is one where if I don't read it fairly quickly, it's going to take me a while and I may not get to it at all. I also felt like the very end, when we find out why Parabatai are not allowed to be together, like romantically, it it felt a little bit strange. Like, I can understand why Emma did what she did, but also it's a bit weird. On that as well, actually, towards the end, Julian blames Anselm, who is a vampire, and basically accuses him of like dark magic and uses him as a scapegoat, which I just think is such a dick move. Like, he'd done nothing wrong at all, and Julian has to try and take the heat off himself, who has been doing lots of things wrong. You're just like, oh, it was the vampire. And I just think, like, geez, no, that's really nasty. Like, yeah, so I have an issue with that. Yeah, I think it probably is going to be about a 3-star. Like, it's absolutely fine. It was a fun time. It just, you know, wasn't the best book that I've ever read. But then again, it's a Shadowhunter book. Even the ones that I love, they're not the best books that I've ever read. You know, they are addictive junk food. And I'm happy about that. What's in your mouth, Bracken? Oh, you've got your bone. Okay, my darling. Good gal. Speaking of addictive junk food, I'm going to go to a cafe in a bit and get some addictive junk food because I want some cake. And then actually I have, so I use the app called Too Good To Go, where you basically, like, cafes and restaurants will, for like very, very cheap, give away like leftover food. So I'm going to the cheese shop where I've got a bag of cheese booked for £3. It should be about 20 quid. Bargain. I love cheese. And then I'm going to a cafe as well, and I don't know what I'm getting there, but it's all fun. Anywho, that's just an aside. Yes, I have now finished Lady Midnight. I'm glad that I've read it. Like I said, it was on my self-destruct list, so I'm quite glad that I've read it and got it off my self-destruct list, because I did definitely want to read this series, so I'm happy that I have. And I think that's it, really. It's kind of come out about a 3-star. I'm okay with that. I'm not disappointed by that. I mean, it's, you know, I'd have obviously preferred it to have been a slightly higher rating, but I'm not mad about it. I think book 2 might be a bit better, because even though the characters have annoyed me in this one, I have kind of got used to them now. We're like, you know, 670 pages in, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm fine with them. So I feel like book 2, I might be like, yeah, you know, they're fine, I can deal with them. But that is my update. If you like this video, please leave me a like, subscribe down below. If you just want to leave me an emoji to let me know you are here, leave me like something to do with the sea, because of like, there's like a drowning lady on the front, so like, I don't know, a wave or a mermaid or something like that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.